And by the way, for the record, this figures, I mentioned earlier that picture, I assume everybody's probably seen it, that picture of that little girl crying and hysterical and scared, holding her little puppy in the rain, being rescued out there. Oh, God, it's just, the description doesn't do it. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, wait till you do. And that literally made me cry. I mean, right here in the radio station, watching, getting ready for the show. And the first time I saw it at home, I cried. Anyway, whatever. And then I'm going through my phone right after that, and the next thing that shows up on my reels that popped up on my phone screen was a picture of a guy being reunited with a dog who didn't recognize him at first because it had been so many years, and then when he recognized him, the dog went nuts. I mean, one of those things where the wagging and the jumping and anyway. So, and that made me cry. So.
It's
in a good way.
Clay and Buck were talking about how the New York Times has nothing on the disaster. This is bigger than Katrina, is the way it's looking right now. I mean, it's mad. In fact, the hurricane itself was bigger. If you look on the satellite thing about what was the lights before at night, and you see there's a swath that moves up that's statewide from Florida all the way to Virginia without lights right now. And we all know that the national media has ignored Appalachia our entire lives. The only time they ever pay any attention to Appalachia is when they're mocking it and making fun of it and disparaging it. And to have Kamala Harris show up yesterday after her administration, her regime has given $100 billion plus to a Ukrainian dictator who's given $13,000 debit cards and $5,000 cash to criminals like murderers and drug dealers and rapists that they allowed to come across the border. They gave them free health care and free lodging and free phones and free bus tickets and plane tickets to anywhere they wanted to go. And then to give them all that money and everything, and then show up in the state yesterday and say, we'll give you $750 if you've been part of a natural disaster. And these people have no way of getting that money. They don't have mailboxes. There's no banks. There's no ATMs. They have no way of getting that money for God knows how long. That bitch showed up and spit in the face of everybody that was a victim of this and continues to be a victim. She spit in all of our faces as Southerners and everybody in Appalachia. And I live in the foothills of it right now, so I can see. I heard the damn helicopters this morning going that way. The federal government's not doing squat. The Red Cross isn't doing squat. Do not give to any of those. And they're trying to tell you, give it to the local churches, to local people who know the local people up there. That's where you give your money. That's where you give the stuff to. You do not rely on the government or the Red Cross or any of these huge organizations because they're in it for the money. They're in it for the power. And for her to show up and spit in everybody's faces with $750 measly for American families, they can all go to hell.
In fact, Flounder, let's play cut number 4. She has the balls to come in here and then act like some kind of heroine, as though, boy, we've been talking to your local officials and we're all working together and everything's fine. Here's her actual words and see how you think about this coming from the vice president's mouth yesterday, number 4.
And the federal relief and assistance that we have been providing has included FEMA providing $750 for folks who need immediate needs being met, such as food, baby formula, and the like. And you can apply now for anyone who's watching this who has been affected. There are FEMA personnel who are going door to door to interact personally with folks, especially those who do not have electricity, but also that aid, if you have electricity, can be applied for online. And I encourage people to do that. FEMA will just basically verify your address, and then the process should take hold.
Yeah. Immediate relief, my ass. What do you mean immediate relief? Unless you're handing out $20 bills, there is no immediate relief. What are you talking about? Oh, by the way,
how about a debit card or something?
Yeah,
anything.
Yeah, and by the way, even and if they're all no electricity, what the hell good is a credit card or a debit card or anything else going to do? And by the way, she talked about applying applications. I mean, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. And you would think that they would, well, we'll talk about that.
Oh, wait a minute. Applications. They just put up an app where people in other countries, Central and South America, can fill out a little thing on an app, and they immediately get a plane ticket sent to them to get to the airport and fly to America.
Yeah, well, there you go. And again, they get the hotel room and the card and the debit card and the phones and stuff like that. Here's how some of the folks involved in this Flounder cut number 3. This lady pretty much hits it on the nose, and he had to edit a few words about this, but this is how strongly the reaction is from the lack of help coming to these people who need it.
In case you missed it, FEMA's got no money to help anybody in our country. FEMA, they're done. FEMA spent their money on housing illegals and giving debit cards and housing and, whatever they can do. You want a ticket? You want to go to the Florida Keys? No, we'll send you down there. Go enjoy the Roosters. FEMA can't do So there's dirty, and I'm going to say it, sucking piece of vice president. You know what she said? Oh, well, we're gonna give you $750. $750? Oh, you big spender. You big spender. How about this? How about you keep your money? You go enjoy your Julia Roberts, Oprah Winfrey, put on a show because you're trying to win an election bullshit, okay? You might want to take your VP and get him some lessons in being an adult and get him some diapers because he definitely soiled his pants last night, okay? Let us handle this. FEMA, you. America, it's time to step up. We are going to step up. We are going to deliver, and we are going to go into North Carolina, Tennessee, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, wherever we have to go because we take care of ours. And I'll tell you right now, you're in New York City, you're a illegal, get your ass out of our hotels. Get your ass out of our hotels. You know what? It. We don't even want the Roosevelt back. We don't want any of the hotels back because these dirty, disgusting dirtbags that this administration brought in, they ruined it all to I am disgusted. I am mortified. I am annoyed. But I will tell you this. There's going to be a collection. We're going to be collecting a lot of okay? I'm going to be headed down to North Carolina. I have my SUV. If I can load up, we're going to load up. Worst case scenario, I got to rent the U-Haul. Worst case scenario, best case scenario, I got to rent a couple of Mack trucks. I have CDL drivers. We can get it down there. I got a place to go in Plymouth, North Carolina. They will get it out to Western North Carolina. We are going to show them that, you know what, the government doesn't give a fuck about you because they don't even know who the fuck they are right now, okay?
Let's look too bad. Last part there, I guess.
I missed it.
Dump Rooney, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, well, the YouTubers probably got...
They heard it. I apologize.
No, well, it happened. Again, Flounder, I'm so sorry. I had no idea there were 900
I should have double-checked it.
Anything's in there. But again, that's the way it goes. And frankly, everybody's heard the word. Everybody knows the word. Your 7-year-old uses it every freaking day in school. And I'm sorry if you YouTubers heard it, but that's okay. We're not on FCC radio on YouTube. So we can say whatever we want on YouTube. So again, it wasn't on the radio, so we have nothing to apologize for, and we're not going to. Plus, everybody's a little ticked off about it. In fact, every time you think about every angle of this, how is it possible that in hurricane season that the government is not ready for hurricane season? They were ready in Florida because they do with us all the time. But again, when they said this girl hit it on the nose, and Pete mentioned it earlier, the money's gone somewhere else. They're broke. They don't have the money to take care of this stuff. How is that possible?
With a straight face.
Yeah.
Mayorkas, with a straight face, looks at us and says, we're going to run out of money. Funny you don't run out of money for anything else.
Yeah.